What's going on, gamers? Ultimate Freyna is finally here in the game, and yeah, you could go grind for her right now or swipe the card like I did, just because I wanted to get down and see what was so good about her. And guess what? I realized that I didn't want to mess around with the new ultimate mod. Yes, that's right. There is two ultimate mods in the game right now called Venom Injection and Toxic Mixture. Now these I'm going to test out more, maybe do some boss builds with it, but really I wanted to show you what you're looking at in the background right now is a 400% dungeon getting absolutely ran over. Just standing there watching 300 enemies explode using the Contagion mod. And I was running with some bunnies earlier trying to level up, and I just realized that, hey, I can keep up with bunnies. We're not as fast, but on Freyna I was definitely doing more AoE damage, causing more explosions, and kind of just having fun. You know, a lot of people have been grinding Ultimate Bunny and grinding normal bunny since the game came out, and it's time to switch it up. I think that Contagion Freyna can definitely hold her own, and if not, do better in certain scenarios. But if you want to switch it up, I wanted to show you the AoE build that I was working on. Now, I didn't want to rush this build out, but I wanted to get something out in case if people were swiping or people were running their normal Freynas and wanted some builds to look forward to while using normal Freyna and really beating the shit out of these 400% dungeons, because trust me, they're so good to run. You get so much weapon parts in these dungeons and so much mods, and I just crafted 500 materials to reroll my weapons because I had 50,000 weapon parts. These dungeons are insane, but also very important to grind these dungeons for. You need these standard ETA vouchers, and guess what? By the time you're watching this video, the voucher's already here in the game, and I'm also going to be making a video on this vendor as well. But running through these dungeons and getting these vouchers can unlock some stuff in the game that you already don't have, so why not take a build and run through the dungeon with this Freyna Contagion build? So first off, here comes the bad news. You're gonna have to go farm the secret garden. Not one, not two, but 5 if you want to optimize the best, simply because you need to max out the secret garden's perk pest control. And yes, you need it maxed out. And when I tell you that secret garden nanotube is bad, I farmed out 10 enduring legacies. Secret garden nanotube was worse. I hated that farm. It was unfair, but I did it anyway. Mods aren't really going to matter here. If you want to take a screenshot of what I'm running here, simply I have this on because Sharp Precision Shot works with Ultimate Freyna's ult. Also, so does the rounds per magazine, the fire rate up. So we have those on, and we just wanted to have on these 4 mods for her ult, and then the rest is just so that if I need to shoot something, I can do damage to it. Now, you also can put rounds per magazine on a machine gun, and I've seen Freyna's ult get almost up to 100 bullets, but again, that's for like bossing, and this is mainly for AoE dot damage, smoking bosses, so you're not running around on a bunny the whole time. So again, it's totally up to you. Putting rounds per magazine on your secret garden is probably not worth it. So if I was you, I would just, you know, build this thing up, firearm attack, double crit, and weak point, or whatever you want. That way you have to shoot it. Now again, I want to show you I made it to the boss at the 400% with Freyna, but I did have to use my machine gun. I couldn't just sit there and spam my ult simply because these bosses hurt when you're just standing there. Even when I did the 400% on my bunny, I was running around in circles nonstop, making sure that I didn't get hit, because the boss could have killed me because I'm so weak. I run a glass cannon build. Why have more HP and more defense when I was on my bunny earlier and I did 5,000 defense with 7,000 health and ran it over? Well, Freyna can do the same thing. Talk about components here. Got 17,000 defense with only 7,000 HP. That's okay. It's not a big deal. Reactor, I wanted to go for skill cost and tech skill power boost. Unfortunately, the reactor change didn't come, so we got screwed over. If you'd like to know my perfect reactor for this, I'd like to see a skill cost skill cooldown, so I can have my cooldowns, I can spam quicker. But again, I have that reactor, it's just not a secret garden mounting. Using component sets are up to you. The reason why I chose 2 Venom and 2 Annihilation, simply because it's simple to get, easy accessible, and you don't make it too complicated, and you get a flat 6% skill power on toxic and skill duration. Now, there is other sets that I can just go over real quick. There is the new Distorted Resolve set from the new boss. Haven't messed with this, but I do see toxic skill power. I just haven't messed with it enough. I don't think it's kind of worth it for this kind of build. You could go Slayer, but Slayer set is playing into skill cost, and again, everything's dying already. But again, if you want to try this build out before we go over the Descendant mods, you should definitely think about playing into skill cost because Slayer set will offset them. The reason why I didn't want to run a full Venom set is just because I didn't think the Force set was worth it. And the reason why I didn't have on the Swamp Recon set is simply because I know that it says toxic skill power and it says skill duration. Same thing just as the Annihilation. And this also gives you firearm status trigger effect rate plus 12%. I just didn't think telling people to go farm these out. Okay. This telling you to go farm out a full Swamp Recon set is kind of annoying. Now, some of you might have this set in your vault already. You got some good rolls on it. Well, try it out. See what you like better. Me, I'm not just going to go sit and go farm some perfect gold pieces with gold MP out of combat, in combat. These pieces are such a pain, and I just don't think it's worth the grind when you can just roll the 2-piece Venom, 2-piece Annihilation set. But again, try it, see what you like the most. Finally, going into the build. Pull out the screenshots right now. We all know that you're probably looking at these mods and going, all right, that's what he's running by. Don't you leave. We're going to talk about it. We're going to be running Contagion simply because when it gets inflicted with room 0 trauma, Contagion surrounds it, spreads everywhere, and it's just nuts. So like what I like to do is pay attention to the floor when I'm running and I see the poison on the ground. I pull out my gun, I kill that enemy right by it if I need to and keep spreading it. You can get some crazy trains. What I'm talking about here is when I entered this room and I spreaded the Contagion everywhere, I didn't know that it was killing enemies above and bottom and left and right. Kind of like how the bunny does in the rooms, and it just killed the whole room. It was insane. So it takes a little bit to get used to like how you can keep chaining it without actually using your abilities. The whole build is just spam your 1 and spam your 3. That's it. You don't ever use this defense unless you really need to, but again, like I barely use this. And then obviously you could pull out your ult and rip down the bosses, but it's literally just spam 1 and 3. Decimator's really good for defeating enemies and just juicing your skill power, but you also might want to swap this out with Dangerous Ambush, because simply when enemies spawn, they're not looking at you, they don't have your attention, and you could get that bonus of Dangerous Ambush. You want the range mod here, and you want the range mod here for skill expansions and maximize range, simply because your max range on this is 12 meters and I have 11.5. That's good enough for me. 2 mods on, I'm at max range. You can put range on your reactor, but trust me, a half a meter is nothing. You will not notice it. I dropped my bunny down a meter short. Never was really a problem. Run focus on tech, and we run focus on toxic simply for the cooldowns and stacking the damage. You're gonna go with duration for skill extension, HP collector definitely for these 400% dungeons, nimble fingers for your cooldown, and then for this last spot, you're going to run a new mod that just dropped in the game today, toxic amplification. Now I tested both of these, and for some reason the tick damage was better with toxic, which is weird because tech usually scales better with Freyna. But anyways, since you're not worried about getting your skill critical hit damage and you're just tick damaging everything with the puddles of poison, you could put this on. Totally up to you. I don't think it's needed, but again, if you just want to see those bigger numbers, you can go for it, or you can play into more HP or defense. Now let's say you're running into MP issues and you're like, Clyde, for some reason I get to a boss room and I'm running out of MP. What do I do? Well, what we're going to do here is we're going to change and put Decimator over here. Then we're going to put our favorite mod, Energy Collect, because it's way better than MP Collector. MP Collector has a chance to refund your MP. This, all you got to do is wait for MP in combat or out of combat to kick in off your components, or pick up MP on the ground, and all those give you 57% more. So when you're out of combat and it kicks in like MP out of combat, you're just running to the next room and your meter starts going up. With this mod on, it goes even faster. So that's why I like this even better. And then you could just put a damage mod here or put whatever you like. Again, this last mod was tricky. I was talking to chat, I didn't know what to put here, but we always say go for the glass cannon, go for the damage, do whatever you like. But again, you have options. I know there's tons of other mods you can run. You can run more HP mods, but I just wanted to give you guys simply some easy ways to choose what you can run for your build. But I'm telling you, I think Freyna can hang with Bunny now. Now Bunny's just brain dead, sprint, electrocute everything. But this is on a whole different level, and I was waiting to upload this simply because I wanted to wait for that 400% dungeon to see, hey, is it tough? Now I know you guys are probably asking, but Clyde, when's the bossing build coming? I got some ideas for some boss builds for Freyna. I know that she can get buffed by Luna, and it's really good, but again, asking for someone to be in your team that has Luna is kind of annoying. 2, I don't have time right now. We got to focus on the dungeon all weekend and some other stuff. I got some other videos I got to work on, but I will come back to it. I will work on a bossing build. I just think for right now, focus on slaying, destroying all the bosses with all your favorite characters now, and use this for a new dot damage ad clearing machine. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and tune in today. Come hang out in chat today. We're going to be running the Destiny dungeon. It's going to be launching at 1, so I'll see you guys live on stream around 10 a.m. because we're going to play some first Descendant with the boys, with some streamer friends, and then we'll be switching over to Destiny for the race. Don't forget to sub.